Hello, Microsoft Azure is one of the best leading cloud service provider, and today we will discuss about one of the service, and the name is Azure App Service. Okay, so in this session we will discuss what is Azure App Service and why we should use it, and we will also see in practical session how can we create Azure App Service and deploy an application where source code is available on GitHub repository. This is a quick start session for beginners. Okay, so let's get started without wasting time. So, what is Azure App Service? According to Microsoft, it is used for quickly creating powerful cloud apps for web and mobile. And we can also say Azure App Service is an HTTP-based service for hosting web applications, REST API, mobile backends. You can develop in your favorite language like .NET, .NET Core, Java, Ruby, Node.js, PHP, or Python. App Service is the best example for platform as a service where you don't need to worry about any infrastructure and any other thing. There are different models of cloud services like infrastructure as a service, software as a service. We will discuss all those details in the upcoming videos. So App Service not only adds the power of Microsoft Azure to your application such as security, load balancing, auto scaling, and automated management. You can also take advantage of its DevOps capabilities such as continuous deployment, continuous integration, or from Azure DevOps like GitHub, Docker, and Docker Hub. Okay, so with with App Service, you pay for the Azure computer sources that you use. So there is a URL for accessing the Azure portal, which is portal.azure.com. Okay, so to use the practical session, you should have an Azure account with active subscription that we will use. So before move ahead for the practical session, let's go ahead why we should use App Service. So it supports multiple language and frameworks we have already seen, and it also supports managed production environment and containerized and Docker support is also there. DevOps optimization point of view, Azure DevOps is here, GitHub, Bitbucket, Docker Hub, or Azure Container Repositories. Global scale with high availability. So it means it can scale up or out manually or automatically. Connections to SaaS, it means software as a service platform and on-premise data such as SAP, Salesforce, and Facebook. Security and compliance is another feature of Azure App Service. So, and there are many templates available in Azure Marketplace. So you can go through Azure Marketplace, you will see so many examples, and few of them is WordPress, Joomla, Drupal. Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code integration is also available. This is the best thing that any C# or .NET developer can use from their integrated development environment. So API and mobile feature is also available. So serverless code is also available, which we say Azure function. We can also run as Azure function in App Service. So I mean, if you are a AWS developer, you can consider App Service just like Elastic Beanstalk, where we can also run functions that we say Lambda functions. So in Microsoft terms, we say, or in the Microsoft service provider, we say it's Azure function and App Service. So let's move for the practical session. Let me open my Azure portal and I will go through you how can we create all these things. When you will click on portal.azure.com, so you will navigate it on this screen. So here we need to apply the credentials so that we can use. Okay, so let me provide the details here. Log in. So my system is getting ready for that. So we can see on the welcome screen we don't want to start the tour, so maybe later. So this is a very beautiful dashboard. I mean, this is for the beginner course, so I'm just giving you a very high level detail. So on this dashboard we can select multiple services which are very famous. Those are in front of us, like virtual machine, app services, storage, SQL database, and Kubernetes and function apps, which is actually Lambda in AWS, and Microsoft Azure side we call it function app. Okay, so if you will click on virtual machine, you will see the some pop-up and all the details, what it is, and all the useful links are available here if you want to learn more about it. But this session is purely dedicated to app services, so we will focus on this. So we will go into this, but before that I will just give you a few details on this dashboard. On the left hand side, these are the shortcuts which are already given here. We can navigate at any point of time from this left navigation menu as well. So let's move ahead without wasting time. Click on app service. So we want to create the new one, but on this beautiful interface we can see we can create from this plus icon as well. We can manage, refresh, open query, and there are several options. Okay, so let me click here, create app service. Okay, now three dots says it is loading. So by default my subscription details are populated here. Total four tabs are here: basic, monitoring, tags, review, and create. So all the tabs itself are explanatory, means we can understand. Monitoring, we will see some monitor details. So let's move ahead, we will discuss at the same time. So we have to select the resource group. So what a resource group is: a collection of resources that share the same life cycle, permission, and policies. Okay, so it is just like that resource group that we want to use. Those permissions are allowed to us. I have selected here. In your case, you can create your new one as well. So in Azure, there's a normal convention. Whenever you click on create new link anywhere, so you will get the new small pop-up, or on the right side, a pop-up where you can give it a name. So for the time being, or for us, the source group is already available here. So we need to provide the instance name. Let me provide here tech web thoughts for the time being. Okay, it is available. And for the publish side, we will select the code section, and in the runtime stack there are several options like .NET, Java, Node, PHP, Python, Ruby. So that's beautiful. So for the timing, we will select the ASP.NET 4.8. You can select for yourself, I mean, on what code base, on what language you have used in your project. Okay, so the region, it is automatically populated. We are good to go. Nothing we need to change. Windows plan is here, and SKU and size is the infrastructure details, that basic configuration settings of your system on which your this app service will be hosted. So we can change it. Currently it is showing it is the premium one, but we are doing just for the demo purpose, so I don't think so it is right. So we can select another one as well. Let's see how can we explore other option. We can see here we are showing the S1, which is 100 total ACU. So we will select this one, and this is the economic one. Let's apply here. So immediately it is applied. So let's move on the next tab, which is monitoring. So it is loading, and it is pretty fast, I can say, but sometimes it depends on your bandwidth. uh, Okay, so here on this screen, we need to select the monitoring option, how much detail we want to monitor, and there's an inbuilt Microsoft Azure service, which is application insights that we can use. And by default, it is selected yes, so we are good to go. And the application insight name is available. We can create the new one just by clicking create new. So normally Azure gives option for creating all new things on the right hand side. For the timing, I don't think so we need to create new one. We already have the one that we can use. Okay, so we will click on next. So the tag that we can create here is are the actually name pair values that enables you to categorize the resources and view consolidated billing by applying the same tag to the multiple resources and resource group. Like where at the time of billing you can supply the tag name, so you can get I applied this tag to my this resource, and what was the total billing from that resource point of view. So it is very helpful. So for the time being, so billing is not the target, but the app service with GitHub repo is our target. So we will leave it as it is. But I will show you the option for which we can apply it: app service plan, application insight, and web app. So all three options are available here. So let's move next. So last one is the review and create. So I mean, let me tell you, there are a total five common templates that we discussed earlier in the same session. As I said, like WebApp is the one which is a very common, and WebApp for containers, I mean where we can use the Docker container or other one, Kubernetes as well. And the third one is API app that we can create. Even in the same session, I will also help you to understand how we can create a newly created API with the app service in the same session. Okay, so uh, and the next one is functions. That's a lambda function in AWS, or you can say the functions in a Microsoft Azure, and mobile template is here. Even the Visual Studio template is here, which is very good for the developers, for .NET developers. Okay, so now we are good to go. All the brief details are here. What subscription, resource group, name, publish, settings we have selected. We can just review it. Just hit on create icon. So good thing is on the right top corner, Azure will always show you what is going on. So it is just like the mini notification area that Azure selected, right top corner for the notification area, and the right section is whenever we create on the create link, uh, anytime. So on this screen we have navigated this a web app portal details section. We are automatically navigated here, and we can see what are the things which are completed. For example, the completed entries will be available in the bottom of this grid. So we can see the one which is a green tick, Microsoft Web Server form. It is available. We can click on it and see the details, and all those things which are completed, those will be appended in the same section. And from this screen, if you want to cancel it, if it is unintended to do this, or something wrong is going on, we can cancel it anytime. We can refresh it. We can check other options as well, like input, output, and the templates as well. So as of now we can see entries, 5 entries are here. It means our service are good to go almost. Yes, I was waiting for this notification. On the right hand side we can see we can pin it to dashboard as well, and we can move to go to resources, because after few seconds this notification will not be visible here. So we can download all those logs from this links as well, and we can click go to resources to navigate what app service is created. Okay, so we can see there are several options. Yes, now we can see all the options, like URL is here. I mean, on this URL we can access the default content which is available when we are creating web service. So from this section it is clearly visible for us, and health check is as of now not configured. App service plan we can see here, and no FTP deployment user settings are here. And we can browse this app service by clicking on this icon. So browse is actually what content is hosted as of now on this Azure App Service. So we can see that content. We can stop it, we can restart it, we can delete it. I mean, if any changes that you think it should be restarted, so we can restart it, the hosted content. And we can give feedback as well. If you will scroll down, we can see all of the HTTP inside data, and all data in, data out, what are the requests, what is the response time it is taking. If I click on this browse link, so we can see this is the one, techweb.azurewebsite.net. So this is the default content which is available. If you will create the app service, even this URL we will also get from here as well. You can copy it as well. So all those things are very helpful. And if you want to see in a more detail, we can go to the logs section. Let me type here logs. So here are activity logs are here. As of now it is loading. Right website, this is a log. And another point of logs to check, if you want, we can check log stream. App log service is also available here. Okay, so the main steps we cover in this is how we can create Azure App Service. Okay, so now my next step is to show you how can we configure service logs. Okay, so we are already on the monitoring section, and I will click on app service logs. So here we can see if we have many options available for application logging. So what actually application logging means is, so if you will click on the eye icon, you can see enable application logging to collect diagnostic trace from your web app code. You will need to turn this on. To enable the streaming log feature, this setting turns itself off after 12 hours. Okay, so we can make it on if you want to check it for 12 hours. So it is for the blob, it is for the web server logging. We can select file system and what is the space that we want to allow. 35 MB megabyte is here. We can say retention period 30 days. So for detail error we can make it on. For field error we can make it on. There's a one simple one-liner description here: gather diagnostic information on field request. Okay, so we are good to go. We have already provided the settings that we want. On the right hand side we can see what are the things going on. So app service will be available just after updating this. So we make the changes. Now we can see all those log details if you want to. Okay, okay, it is loading, it is taking time. So on the log stream you can see it is showing it is going to connect, and when you are connect to log stream the default timeout is 2 hour, and change the time with the app setting. So it is trying to connect, so we will come back on it later, but this is the basic uh, logging or diagnostic thing that we need to set up. Now on our next step will be we will connect our web service to GitHub repository content. Okay, so now we can see all those log streaming is coming. So for that connection we will move to the deployment section. On the left hand side there are very important section. You can explore everyone should explore this all these things which are available here. So let me click here on deployment center to connect it with GitHub. Okay, as of now it is saying there is no CI/CD configured, but we can move to the settings section. I will create a separate section how we can create a complete pipeline, how we can use continuous integration, continuous deployment in the upcoming videos. So do subscribe for that right now. Okay, so in the source code section, there are multiple options. Like from GitHub, we can connect Bitbucket, local Git, Azure repo is also one of the option for the repository. But as of now, we will use the GitHub. So for that, external Git will be here. And now we should apply the URL of GitHub repo. Okay, so let me paste it here. You can apply the name. Okay, the branch name will be main, and we will keep it public. So I'm using this repo. It is available here. You can check. This is simple. There is index file, there is a CSS file, and it will be hosted on my app service. So let me hit on save icon. So as usual, on the right top corner we can see what are the things which are going on: updating, submitting. Okay, so all things are saved here. Okay, and now we can see, now we can disconnect from this GitHub repository as well. And if you will click on log section, it is saying every 30 seconds it will be updated. So we can see if all the fetch the details from here. There is nothing commuter, attributor, and all these things which are here. We can clearly see all those log details. Okay, so now the thing is we have connected our app service with the GitHub repository. Now it's time to see either it is working properly or not. It means my app is hosted or not. Okay, so let's move to the overview section of my web app service. Okay, and if I click on browse link, earlier we clicked the browse one, now we will click on the URL one. If I will click over here, so the app is loading. Now we can see the completely different content. Earlier we saw the one which was by default hosted from the Azure App Service side, but now this is the one. There's no promotion, but this is just a way I want to show you. This is the content that we have displayed here, and it is dynamically everything is happening, and we can see which resource group. There are many details on this section that we can check. And as of now, we can see there are data in, data out. There are special graphs that we can see all those details over there. Okay, and one more thing we can do, if you are thinking, I mean, how can we make it a more secure connection? So there is a way. On the same screen we can check in under settings section. We can see TLS or SSL setting is here. If I click over here, you will see HTTPS only is right now off, so we can make it on. Okay, so it is turning on, so just wait for a few seconds. So now it is on. It means going forward the web app can only be reached through a secure HTTP connection. HTTP traffic will automatically be redirected to HTTPS. Okay, so if I will go back to my app service, and if I browse it once again, so we can see this connection is secure now. I mean, even it is earlier as well, but now the all traffic will be in a secured way. It will be there. Okay, so now we have seen how we can connect with GitHub, and one more thing I would like to add here. If we, I mean, you must be thinking, if my app is consuming some database, so how can we do that? So under settings section, we can see there is a one option called configuration. Okay, so in configuration we can provide the database string, or we can say connection string at the bottom of it. I mean, in on this screen you can explore every option. What is application settings, journal setting, what is tag is selected here, what is the default document, what is the path mapping. Okay, but you can create the connection string as well. I mean, it will be the, I mean, just like in any application, I will, we consider .NET Core, or we consider .NET in web config, or JSON, in the JSON configuration file. We need to provide the connection string name, and we need to provide the value. I mean, what database and what provider we want to use. So as of now, I'm just giving some dummy value here, but you can give the real one when you are actually publishing the code. So after this, you know, we can connect it, it can easily connect with the database, and these are the types which are available here. MySQL and SQL Server, SQL Azure is there, PostgreSQL is there, and custom is there. So all those types of database can be easily connected. Okay, we can click here deployment slot setting if we want. So now click on OK. So now my entry is created here, but there's one more step which is required to complete it. We need to hit the save icon here. So if I click on save, it is asking any changes to application setting and connection settings will restart your application. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes, we want to continue with this. So after creating this, what will happen? Now your database administrator will be able to use a newly created connection string and on the database side to connect the web application. So this is really helpful if your application is connected with the backend. So this is the important part here. So as I said earlier, in the same session I will also show you how can you create a new web API as well. So let's move ahead in that direction. But now we have created app string, I mean the connection string. Let me check again my services is still running or not. Okay, so let's click here again. So yes, my application is working fine. So now the very last thing, I will show you how can we create the API. And here's the API section on the same my service. So we will go with the API management. Here we can see there is nothing, there is no option to link to the existing Azure Web Service. So first we will create the new one, and you can see many things are populated here. The name is automatically populated, techweb dots hyphen API. You can customize it according to your need. So subscription resource detail populated automatically. So one is the org name, I mean the organization name that we need to provide. So let me provide here techweb dots org. Okay, so we don't need to change anything. Let's hit on the create icon. So it is saying the service name is already in use. Okay, so let me change the name. Okay, now I will try to use it. Okay, now it says everything is okay, and it is creating my API. I mean, just it is just one click away. We are creating our techweb API. And what will happen after this? You or your software developer or your team will be able to future customize a newly created web API to then communicate with other app service. So now it is creating, and I will show you how can we see the details of this newly created API. It is taking time, it is not refreshed yet. So if I click over here API definition, let me refresh it once again, and either it is available or not. So it is still in the so we can say now it is created. Okay, let me click on the link API option. So we can see our existing app service is already here, tech web app service, display name and the name. So your newly created API name will be this, the base URL we will create on create section here. Okay, so now my API is linked with my app service. Okay, on the right top corner you can see things are here, it is deployed completely. So now my team is also customized it, they can work on it. I have created, there are multiple sections, get, add, section, patch, post, delete, so all these things. So you can explore all these options, test, setting, revisions if you want to modify it. And this is the base URL as of now. If you will try to hit this URL, I don't think so it will respond. Yes, it is asking for the connection, it is not secure, but let's now, as of now it is 401 because we haven't defined anything in that. But this is the way to attach the one new web API with your existing Azure uh, web service. So that's it from this video. I hope you like it, and it will help you to understand other concepts as well, how we can work in a dynamic way. Okay, thank you. I hope you liked the video. So I will wait for your feedback. If you have any question, please leave a comment. Please give me your suggestion. In the next session, we will discuss how to publish and deploy an app service using Visual Studio. Thank you very much for watching.